So today I decided to do my first live video on YouTube, I guess anywhere. And so the content of the video primarily will be building in Africa or Ghana for this topic, and also some of the the challenges and the benefits and also the risk as you partake in this expensive endeavor. And so I would like to begin from that aspect, and it's also funny and interesting to just be on live and trying to just do my first video. Just for anything you do the first time, right? So and you learn and then you move on from there. So it looks like I have about 7 people participating. So if you are there, you can hear me. Can you text me or something like that, so that I know like the text at least work. So anyway, so that I know at least you guys can hear me. But anyway, so building like anything, investment in the future, obviously takes a lot of dedication and sacrifices. So, but I am a believer that if you plan well and you are disciplined and diligent, no matter what the dream is, it can be achieved. So, and that was the reason why I started this project. And the reason why I started doing videos, because when I started about 6 years ago, I looked online, YouTube primarily, and I did not see a lot of videos about building in Ghana at that time, at least not in series. And so that was the main motivation, and also just to be able to to show people that it can be done, even from the outside, whether in the West or somewhere part of the world. So as I'm speaking, don't be afraid to ask questions, and then I can take it from there. And the questions, the topic, I want to keep it more towards building the project, the house, or whether it's investment property or anything in Ghana and that kind of stuff. And then so I don't want to strain too far from the topic. But anytime you have some questions, you can just put it out there, and then we go for that. So I think the biggest thing is acquiring a litigation-free property, right? I.e., land or something like that. So I think that is the biggest challenge, and that I think is probably one of the most important thing. And I have always said that you have to be on the ground, and you can't just take people's word for it. You have to be on the ground, and you have to, and I don't care who you're buying it from, you have to triple check, cross the dots and T's. And if you have some intuition about something is not right, just follow that. Okay, so assuming you do all that work and everything pays off, then you want to start a process, of registering the land ASAP. And you also want to start securing the property right away. Either you do some little fence post, or you build a makeshift structure for somebody to occupy that land, especially if it's in a highly desirable area. You want to have somebody squat on that property for you. And then as you start the land process of acquiring the the legal ownership of that property, you want to be on top of that. It took me about 8 months, and that is about calling, being in Ghana for a month initially, and also calling every other week, making sure things like that. It took me roughly about 8 months. So I think that is very important. And then, so from there, then I think the biggest thing is finding a reliable builder, right? So, and I think that is the make or break moment, right? And I also suggest for the foundation, you have to be on the ground, because from that process you will learn a lot. You will know the cost of materials, right? You will know, um, and also the reason why it's important is if you want to make adjustment, then you can make adjustment right away, right? Because not everybody's able to execute something from a draft, a blueprint, into something that is like actual. So you can make adjustment right away, and also you figure out the labor cost and the material cost. So when you send money, how far um like your money can go. So like we have one subscriber said, Mr. Ali said it took him 5 months. That was quick. I know people for years now, they're still fighting it. Yeah, so 5 months it can be done to secure that paperwork, and I think it's very, very important. I don't care even if it's a family member that owns the land and being transferred into your name. You have to do that. You have to do that. So then back to the foundation aspect. So then once you figure that out, then it's just for me the way I approached it was I didn't want to do a month-to-month project, because depending on everybody's financial situation, you couldn't accumulate a lot of money, in a month to actually do something of significance. So I will break it down into 1 to 2 big projects. So you get quotes from multiple people. I always do. I get about 3 or 4 of them. I scrutinize them. I send my own people down there to verify these numbers. Um, and then I save, factoring that inflation year to year in Ghana is about 20% for materials and labor. So if I get a quote, and sometimes I've gotten quote for like 2 years before I even, save enough to do that. So I would do that, and then when I'm ready, I just do that one big project, right? And then I'm doing it in a series. So 25% of labor is paid initially. We get half of the material. Then as progress is being made, we send more, right? Because you don't want to be sending all your hard-earned money to somebody, and then the next thing you know, you can't find him. And so that is that. Um, and if you, like I said, if you have any questions, you can interject. You can interject at any time, and then I can take it from there. So then you regroup, right? You regroup, save more, and then you move on to the next project, and then you are getting images uh, ASAP. When you request for them, my attitude is if I request something within 48 hours, I should get an image, video, and also send your own people over there to send you stuff. Okay, and this is about protecting yourself. Um, and one big thing for me that I've learned over the years: don't use family members. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. It's I'm yet to see one that it turned out well. I'm yet to see one. And if you know a family member that actually was able to execute everything without any issues, I mean, let me know. You might be the only one. How long it take to build a house and how much cost. So cost wise, so one of the things, so we started August 2008, 2008. Yep. And so the plan was like maybe 4 to 5 years, but I mean you never know how much it really costs until as you get close. Because inflation, you can't control these things. It's like the inflation is a killer. When we started, cement bag was 10 Ghana, and then 3 years later, when we're doing the flowing, we paying 33 Ghana, and we needed a lot of cement. And so, and there's also a reason why, like, I don't put a lot of my cost on the channel. Like when people ask me questions, I direct them to send me an email, and I do give them everything. And I have a spreadsheet for everything. I mean, I've tracked every cent, every cent. So I have all the information, from a dollar to whatever, how much we spent. So I have that because sometimes when people see the numbers, it may be, um, they might look at it in a way that, oh man, there's no way I could actually afford this. So that even prevent them from pursuing this dream. Um, so I don't put that, at least not publicly. But if there's a course in particular that you are interested in, just send me an email, and then I'll get that to you. I'm good at responding the email quickly. Is I think the most I wait is maybe 48 hours, but I usually get those answers to you. So, but so then you start, and then you get your pictures. You always keep an eye on things very well. Don't sleep. And also you have to be frank. You have to be frank with the workers that come in. Say, hey, look, I know there's a tendencies for this behavior, right? I'm not going to put up with it. And for me, there's only one situation that I had, and in the 6 years, and he, let's say, he regretted that, and got things done. But other than that, the workers know that I don't play games. I work way too hard uh, for those things to happen. So I think we have to be frank about them and let them know the consequences if they do that. It is easier to do with outside people than family members. The family members have an attitude like, oh, we related. What is the worst they can do? So that is where the issue is. And also, so somebody said, what is the method of shipping containers? Okay, so fast forward. So this summer we shipped a container. I mean, once. So it's about dealing dealing with the numbers, right? So you have to figure it out. Okay, can I get the same quality in the respective country, in this case Ghana, for that price, or a little bit more over there for that? So it's about crossing the numbers. And and for me, I came to the conclusion that there's certain things, especially when it comes to the appliances, there's more value and quality here. If you want to buy the same thing in Ghana, it's going to cost you a lot more. I would say you probably pay about 30 to 40%. Some cases even double. So you pick and choose some of the stuff, right? So my appliances all came from here, and then I try, if possibly, do split a container with somebody to reduce the cost. That's what we did. And I think we pay like 2,500 for half of a 40-footer because of the tiles. We sent uh, about 7,000 square feet of tiles. So it was very heavy. So we had to pay an extra overweight charges. Um, and then the appliances and all that kind of stuff. So at least when you're paying duty over there, which is ridiculous, that's another topic in itself. You want to make sure that at least you trying to get everything over there to justify that. And it looks like we're still working on another container in a couple of months to finalize, to basically complete a house in terms of furnishing and all that kind of stuff. And that is not cheap. It's very expensive because we're thinking about shipping the car, so that alone, and it's it's not easy, but well, you have no options but to get this thing done. So I think I was somewhere. Yep. So making sure people building, and for me, I would say I have been fortunate, very, 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 very fortunate that my builder is awesome, like phenomenal. Um, and so one question about shipping too, right? Is so then you have to decide about wiring, right? So these decisions have to be made long term, right? And so for me, what I did initially was I wired everything 220, and then I brought some transformers from here, step up, step down, to just rewire or convert those lines where the appliances will be. Okay. And I didn't want it to do 110 for the lighting system because if the bulb goes out, I want to be able to go to the store and buy another one. I didn't want to always have to ship from here. So it's just about, picking and choosing. Um, Now, if you have a lot of money, then you can just do, you can wire both, that kind of stuff. But what I did is majority of the stuff that's gonna be used, I just put it on 220 because if I'm in Ghana, I can buy these things, and then some of the things that I want to use, I just convert it. But and so there are some good transformers here that you can get. I bought one for I think $500. Was very very good. Um, and also when you buy the transformer too, you have to look at uh, the current, the total current and voltage you're going to be using, right? The voltage you're going to be using, and then try to get a transformer or step up, step down that is much higher, right? Much higher than that, so that you don't get this power shortage and that kind of stuff. So just little things to. So how I find my beta was I met him through my dad, and we were corresponding for about 4 or 5 months just to get a feel. Gave him some few tasks to do, and then I got a feeling that he was good. But then I went down there, and then the first thing he said to me was like, "Hey, I want you to come with me, so you can know the price of these things." So I was reading him very well, and stuff, and then we started the foundation. So I went there. Yeah, the first time I went there, while we doing the paperwork for the land registration, I was doing started foundation right away. So I was seeing the work ethic, how soon he's there, how he's talking to the guys, and so you know, just assessing everything. And so once I came back, I had a feeling that okay, this guy might be one of the rare ones out here. And even that, I still was very vigilant on everything, and I can say, I mean, we spent a lot of money on this project and we've never had one issue. That is rare, that is rare. That is very rare. Um, because I always painted a big picture for him. I said, look, there's a lot of people that are dishonest here. That is why they're always here and there. If you're honest here, you will eat. Because for us that outside, that's all we need, right? And so all you have to do, handle your business, be honest, be good for your word, and I myself will bring you people. So like he gets it. So he's doing very well. He's doing fine, you know. So So that is a big thing. A big thing that's a make or break. And I think once you have that, I think it makes it a little bit stressful in the sense of you knowing that, hey, I'm working hard, you know, um, I'm sending all this money, and it's going to your use. So if you need contact info from a builder, just send me an email, um, and stuff, and then just send me a quick email, and then I'll get out to you, um, and stuff. Then we'll take it from there, or whatever stages. If you are building, I have one of the best electrician, my electrician. So like my lighting system, those who have seen my video, my lighting system. So my electrician, he's awesome. He's so good. When I was in Ghana this summer, I just left him alone. I'm like, you go do your stuff. You pick the light, do all that stuff, and he came through. So he did all the other stuff. So plumber is good, you know, and so I have tilers. Okay, the painters are phenomenal. So at any stage that you are, um, if you need anything, just let me know. Also, I have to put this thing out there. You want to be careful if somebody is out there, or you meet somebody and they send it to my channel, okay, saying that they have some involvement in the housing process, process, or maybe whether they are one of the people that did anything. Please run it by me, because somebody had contacted me with a story, and I said, nope, I don't know this guy. He never did anything on my site. So you have to be careful with that. There are people out there parading other images from YouTube and on the web saying that, that kind of stuff. So run it by me. Yeah, we can just verify that, so that you'll be safe. You'll be safe as well. So it's about that. It's a long term haul, right? Is And whatever number you have in your head that the house is gonna cost is probably gonna be a little bit more, uh, because of the city fluctuations and all the stuff that is happening. But on average, for the 6 years I've been tracking, it's about between 20 to 22%, on average. And the biggest thing is cement and iron rods. Those two big things for structural wise. Now, in terms of where you will be paying more. So assuming, so let's say you want to do 4 bedroom, one level. Let's say, let me get square feet. Let's say 3,000 square feet, right? So 4 bedroom and maybe 3 baths. So the major cost will be foundation. Um, then once you're done with the cement block work, okay, then another major cost will be wiring, right? If somebody's giving you a good deal for wiring, be careful, okay, because there are some hazardous wires, cheap wires that people are parading around and installing them other people's house, and you don't want to expose yourself, your family, to that kind of condition. So wiring, the good wiring is gonna be expensive, and the electrician is gonna be expensive. Um, Another thing, roofing and the framing for the roofing and the roofing sheets too is another cost, right? And then plastering too can add up. Plumbing, not so much. I'll say plumbing is on the cheaper side compared to the other things. Um, so on average, foundation for a 3 to 4 bedroom, or let's say about 3,000 square feet, I would say you can you should be able to do that for about $7,000. Okay, about $7,000 for that. That is, yeah. So let's say 4 bedroom, three bathroom house. You should be able to do that because you also want the cement to be enriched. When you're doing the foundation work. And so I think yeah, you can do that. Even depending on, I think you can even get a six. Depending on who you're using, all that kind of stuff. But for me, it's structure, right? So there's certain things if you wanna cut corners, there's certain things you don't want to do. Like you don't want to do structural work. You don't want to mess with that. Wiring, plumbing. You don't want to do roofing. Okay. When it comes to finishing, you can you can do certain things, right? You can pick certain medium quality furnishing here and there, and that kind of stuff. But the structure integrity, you want to. I think that's where the money should go. And the thing with furnishing is you're always gonna be updating stuff, 5, 10 years down the road. So that you can play around over there. So those things usually cost money. And vet people, vet people, let them prove their work, because there's a lot of people in Ghana that actually don't have the educational background, even though they have some knowledge to execute things. When it comes to certain work, you got to get somebody with a high IQ who have the educational background to do that. You don't want a guy who's a plumber, he's a mason, he's a carpenter, he's an electrician. No, you don't want that kind of stuff. My plumbers are plumbers. Nobody is doing two jobs. My painters came to paint. My tilers, they did tiling. My electrician, electrician. My electrician works with a plumber. They coordinate together because they have to make sure dishwasher and that kind of stuff works. So they coordinate, but everybody does their own job, and you want that. Um, and stuff, because one thing Ghanaians will tell you, they will never tell you they don't know how to do anything. They say, "Yep, I can get it done myself." Right? So on average, roofing. So the roofing and the frame, right? So you have to do this frame to actually attach the roof, right? Sometimes it's weird, but sometimes the framing actually costs a little bit more than the roofing itself. But on average, I think so it's hard to gauge the roofing cost because you can have like a house, but when it's designed a way that the roof is like maybe a little smaller in the middle or that kind of stuff. But I would say for like a 3,000 square feet, right? Um, house. Let's say you have to cover the whole roofing, right? The whole roofing for that 3,000 square feet. I think framing should about 3, 4,000, right? Assuming um they get the right wood. Because other than that, two things gonna happen to the wood. It's gonna be easily destroyed by termite or it's gonna bulge, right? So the next thing you know, the roof, part of the roof is like caving in. So you don't want to deal with that stuff. And what I did is preferably don't buy your wood in Accra. We went to Eastern region. So we went to the site and pick up the wood from there. So the leftovers are the ones that they bring to Accra, right? So these things, like you have to know what is going on. So you can get a roof about 3, 4,000. So for 3,000 square feet, I think you can get framing in the wood about on the low end 5,000, high end 7,000 to do both. And usually take the roofing itself usually might take like a week. Uh, the woodwork might take a little bit more. And so at this stage too, then you want to think about if you want to do roofing, then you want to start thinking of the framing, the roof framing. You want to think about whether you're going to do POP and that kind of stuff, because you want them to make those reservations at that time. Okay, you don't want to go back and redo stuff because so there's a lot of thinking ahead in some of this, even wiring. Like if you want to do like that's where all the AC units going. If you think about somebody having like security cameras, do add it. doing wiring. Get it all set up, ready. So when you're ready to add those things, you just buy the unit and mount it over there. Okay. Um, so those kind of things. So it's about you planning, ahead and looking at these things, right? What you want to do and all that kind of stuff, so that you don't waste money. Because we have a habit of doing stuff, go back, chisel the wall, and then Miss Young had this in the house, um, chiseling the wall, and then redoing the whole thing and stuff like that. So it's about just planning long term, and then take it from there, and stuff. But I believe, I'm a testimony that, you can build from outside, right? And make it work. You just gotta be you gotta be a little bit careful. I mean, and just be on top of things. Like right now, I'm doing my landscape. I'm hoping to post the video next week. Hoping, right? It's been going on for like 4 months, and this thing could have been done like 3 weeks, right? But every day I'm calling, right, and stuff like that. He's doing a good job, except like he doesn't want to bring everybody. He wants to take that project by himself and another guy. So those kind of things, and that kind of stuff. So it's about being vigilant and just go with your gut. If you feel something funny, stop, assess, send. When I started the foundation, I was sending like when I came back, I was sending two different groups. Though they don't know each other, they'll go there, take pictures, that kind of stuff. That stuff you have to do. Um, yes. So estimate, right? Yeah. So I would say, when I'm not gonna give publicly how much money is going there, but I would say I'll give you some estimate. So roughly, when I started the house, we started the house. I was thinking like I was like between $180,000, maybe push it 200, right? Let's say it's more than that. So it's way more than that. Um, and some of this stuff like you can control, um, because of the inflation and other things. It's not, it's like you just do it whenever you have money, right? You have other obligations and that kind of stuff. But on average, is going to be more than you think, unless you have the money right away to do it. Then you can actually make your money go far, and you can actually like narrow down the rates and stuff like that. So, but if you are doing it like 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, basically the longer you wait, the more you're gonna be paying. I mean, but for me, somebody says speed of being, yeah. But for me, my attitude was like, I'm gonna get it done. Is I don't care if it take 10 years. I just want to get it done. I will get it done. So that's for me. That's my attitude. And it's coming close. I think next year the goal is to finish it. Next year, wrap it up. But on the realistic side, I think next year, we're gonna get it to about 99%. But all the major stuff will be done. So right now, the AC is not in the house. There's one person with it. He doesn't need an AC. Um, but it's gonna cost a lot. Yeah, it's gonna cost a lot for that house. Is it worth it? I don't know. Well, after next next summer when I visit, my daughter wants to say hi. Say hi. Hey, who are you talking to? I'm on this thing. All right. So, yeah. So it will cost, but it can be done. It can be. It's just about you watching the numbers um, and that kind of stuff. But it can be done. Can be done. So next year, I plan to go there for 2.5 months. And so Once I find out a date that I want to do a housewarming party, maybe I'll do a shout out. And then we'll see. We'll see. So that'll be nice. But I think it's worth it, because even if you take 10 years, it's something you can have for a lifetime. Pass it on and stuff. So, but it will cost. It will cost. I would say, whatever the numbers are. I mean, if you factor in that every year that you build, you're gonna be paying about 20% more. So you can do the numbers quickly. How much is gonna take you. That is why I always say save and do big projects, you know, and stuff too. Because the monthly stuff, sometimes, the money's all, because it's not a lot. Well, for me. So, and that kind of stuff. So it's better to just do 6 month, 8 month, or a year, just do one big thing. Like one year, just do roof and stuff. Next year, do plastering, that kind of stuff. Um, yeah. So then also too, like one thing too, like you can watch out for is, uh, use the rate to your advantage, right? Watch those things. Usually after like a new election, the person that comes in mess with the currency. So you want to time it, and it takes a little bit, like a couple of weeks for the market to make the adjustment. So you want to get in, right? You got to be strategic. So you want to get in. You want to send your pounds and dollars that moment and get things done right there before the market make the adjustment of adding up, and inflation and all that kind of stuff. So, in another way, yes. Okay. I don't want to do central air, because one is it's too big house. It's a big house. Okay. And it's not going to be occupied. All the areas are not going to be occupied at the same time. So for me, I thought it was a waste to be cooling the whole house when maybe one or two rooms are occupied at a time. So I think right now we've wired for about maybe 10 AC units. So all the bedrooms, then the living rooms, dining rooms, and that kind of stuff. So then basically it's just about being efficient. If you're in a bedroom, you turn it off. If you're not there, you turn it off. That kind of stuff. But it's just, I mean, Central is nice, but it's just financially doesn't make sense. Yes, and another way to send money to, Wave app, like somebody mentioned, Wave is good. I like Wave. I mean, I can tell you stories of MoneyGram and the other one. It's like putting me on some kind of list, not being able to send money, fighting with them all the time. It was crazy, but winners find ways, right? So you do that. So I want to visit next year, right? I want to go every year first in terms of moving back. At least not in the next 5 years. I mean, because I set goals, they have to be like, first of all, I have to have certain things. Like I have to run a business that is successful, that I can financially justify moving the family out there. So I want to do that first. But so that would take time. So obviously once the house is done, the next thing is like, okay, I gotta get some a residual income down there. So that's the next thing. So when that has been established, then yeah, because I don't want to, you have to plan these things, because I'm not a solo person, so there's other things that you have to factor in. Yeah. So, any questions? Yep. So it can be done, and let me know when you have questions that you don't want to put it publicly. You can just email me, stuff like that. I have the numbers uh, from foundation all the way to landscaping now. And one thing also to factor into is a very frustrating in a sense of Ghanaians never always give you fully coat. Like for example, if you are doing plastering, they will give you like they will say internal. I would say give me internal exterior, right? So they'll give you like interior plastering, but then they don't. Fact, then after you're done, they'll be like, oh, we have to give you one for the flooring, right? That kind of stuff. So whenever you are working with them with a code, make sure it's comprehensive. Because they will come back, and what they're trying to avoid is make money in the labor, so they want to chop it up, right? So you want to make sure you make sure it's comprehensive, and then look at it and let them give you some itemized. I don't do big projects if it's not itemized. Because then I can check those numbers. I can have somebody go check numbers for the prices of this. So always get itemized for all this kind of stuff. They should be able to do that. So like I said, if you needed the information, of my people that I've used so far, just shoot me an email, then I'll get them to you. Yes, 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 yes. And also, it would be nice too. And somebody, uh, Sherry Kokolov said, business. Yep. So that'll be. I have some ideas. Uh, what I think I'm gonna be doing. Uh, but I'm already looking at some other opportunities here, and if everything goes extremely well, then that will change certain things. But it would be nice. It would be nice to do something in Ghana, something different, and also like and it doesn't have to be something new. It's just have to have something over there, make it better, make it efficient. You know, that's the beauty of that. We don't have to recreate anything because a lot of things are inefficient. So if you can get something and make it more friendly and efficient and stuff, and get the right people, I think that's always a challenge. Then, yeah, you can make it over there. Yeah. So, but yes, so it can be done. So whatever you need, let me know, and also watch out for people that contact you and say that they've done XYZ, um, which I don't think any of my guys would do. But you just run it by me. I have all their numbers and all that stuff, and then we can just take it from there. And like, just because the my relationship with them is very good, you also have to be diligent. You also have to be questioned some of the time, and also you have to these codes they give you, you know you you have to discuss that and that kind of stuff. So just don't go blindly just because I send them to you. Yes, and if something come up, just let me know. I can be some eyes and ears, and making sure they're doing the right thing, because people in Ghana will do certain things when the opportunity is there. So you don't want to give them the opportunity. You don't want to do that. So um, and then I can talk to them. Usually when I give the information, I let them know, hey, XYZ is gonna be calling. He's a good friend of mine, so take care of them. I always let them know. And usually by the time you contact them, they are expecting. And just work with them, because I think the reason I've never been posting any negative experiences is because, like, I've only had one, but I resolved it. And since then it's been, I mean, granted the challenges to be like sometimes the quality, marksmanship is can be a little bit off depending on who's doing certain things. But in terms of like me paying somebody and the person run away, no, no. I mean, that's not an option. So they know it's not an option. So they get in line. to get in line and stuff like that. So I think we do that, we will be okay. And maybe someday we might throw like a big party for everybody down there. Hopefully, hopefully soon. Yep. So that was the reason why, like, I started putting stuff on YouTube, because the first 2 years of building, I have all these materials and I didn't put anything. It was because, like, to be able to say that, hey, because I heard a lot of stories, even some friends of mine, like, being scammed by relatives and all those things, and I said, okay, is this even possible to do remotely? And so I'm like, okay, I'm saying it can be done. Can be. So once you eliminate the family stuff, and you get a one guy who's like very honest and reliable and stuff. So, like, I don't pay. So until, like, we establish the relationship, I have my main guy that I pay, and then he pays other guys. Like like my plumber now, we have a good relationship. So if he does that, I can pay him directly. My electrician, the same thing. But other than that, everybody else is one person, and stuff like that. So, and it helps too when you kind of like get the workers like in the same area, because it's easy to find them. If somebody's coming from like another region, that's hard. That's hard. But if they live in the same city, you find them. So it's about doing that. Um, so a question was thinking about shipping bathroom fixtures and pipes. Yeah. So the bathroom, I would say. Um, so one of the reasons why I bought like my toilet and sinks in Ghana is because they use the same conversion, right, system. So in terms of finding like the pipe size and the connectors and all those things, it was easier, right? It was very easier. So unless you try and do all the pipes, all the connectors and everything, it makes sense to just buy something from there. And they do have some nice stuff, from England and Europe and stuff like that. Um, that is just, it makes it easier and it fits better. Other than that, when you buy something from here, they have to get like some kind of adapter. So it's just about picking and choosing certain things, like certain things. Um, so because you don't want to buy something and you go there and it's not gonna work, right? Then you spend money over there, either like, you know, trying to fix that issue. So it's just, I mean, ideally, if money was not a problem, then you want to buy everything from you, then go for it. But other than that, you pick and choose. You pick and choose, and then because not every person is like efficient or technically sound to execute some of these things. There are some people that have built nicer homes and have used appliances from out of the country, so they are aware. And there are some people that was the first time, and you don't want them to be like using your house for a project. Next thing something is not working when you need it. So the question is, why did I build a big house? Well, one thing is, the biggest thing was like, okay, is it possible, right? So that's the biggest thing. I'm like, okay, can I build like a dream home that is like will meet needs and all that stuff. And the second one too is like, um I have other interest that I'm pursuing, that I want to pursue, and it's like I don't want to be building a house 10 years. I don't want to be doing that. So it's like just build something for long, or if I choose to keep it, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's a 6 bedroom house. It's gonna work. Kids get older, they can visit, all that kind of stuff. Or also, so that was it for me. And yes, that means that it's gonna cost more, right? It's gonna cost more. But for me and my IT, it's like you build it now, you build it later, it's gonna cost even more later. So just get it done. And it's different for everybody, right? Everybody and their financial situation and what they want out of life. And so for me, it's not even about like compete with anybody, because it's like you know, I mean, when I started looking at a plan, I look at those Trazaco homes and all the stuff, and I didn't even use any of them. So my architect is phenomenal. Great, great. So it's like I like my home. I like my home. Like, mm, I don't want any house in Ghana. I like my home because it came from my head, and I designed it exactly how I wanted. So the idea of me finding another house in Canada is like exactly what I want, and it will be rare. So what did the cost to build a house? The cost. So like I stated earlier, it is the initial estimate in my mind was okay with inflation and everything, 180, $200,000. But it's more than that. It's way more than that. Um, so that also involved, a lot of sacrifices and denying a lot of vacations, denying stands, and just every penny. I mean, do what it takes. I mean, there's sometimes, for dinner, you don't want to spend money, so you make yourself oat, cream of wheat. It's okay. You have a bagel, you eat. It's like, because I know it's not gonna be a long term thing. So you do, and also track how you spending your money. You'll be surprised how much waste. You know, and so once you do that, um, the money add up. $10, €20 here from here and there, £20, and eventually, like, they add up. They add up at the end of the year. They add up to several $1,000, or several thousand euros or pounds or whatever. So it's about doing that. And for me, it was like anytime I did a project, that was like, that's like, oh, nice. Okay, I'm one step ahead. So you will. It costs more. It depends what you want. Like and like my electrical stuff, I got a best quality wiring and all kind of stuff. Like I did underground wiring, which costs more. So it's about what you want. So there's certain things that I was willing to pay for, and there's certain things I'm like, nope, let's do basic. So it's different for everybody. That's why it's hard to say I pay X and that is how much it's gonna cost, because there's other things that I've put in the house that I can't publicly disclose, but I'm willing to pay for it. So it's like that is why I'm saying, like, privately, if you send me the stock and say, okay, these are the numbers and this is what is reflected in the numbers. And so then if you don't want certain things, then you know that you're gonna pay less. You're gonna pay less for those things. So but so no loans. So the plan was no loans. Now last year, no, this year, summer was like the first time that I was thinking about loans. I was like, no, but um, no loans. The plan was like saving was 2 years prior. So 2 years prior starts putting something away. Like every little thing. Like um no large vacations. And my attitude was like I was not going to Ghana till the house is done. So we started, I believe I said 2008. No, so 2008 we started planning, but we started like I think 2012 August 21st. Yeah, 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. Yeah. So 2012, August 21st, we started. And my two is like, I was not going to Ghana to, so, and I really want to go to Ghana every day. So that was it. I was like, can't go. That plane ticket and the money, family members and all the stuff. I'm like, that was going to the project. So, so we, plans, we did that. Then that forces you to be diligent with the money because you don't have a loan that you're going to be paying 10, 15 years, that kind of stuff. You have to pay as you go. So that's going to show how bad you want it, right? So it's about finding motivation for yourself, right? So I had to go this summer because there's certain things that needed to be there, like tile work. You got to be on the ground. It's, there's no, and the tilers were honest, say, you know what? There's no way we could have sorted this thing out. So I had to be the paint, I have to do the final touch up of the plumbing, those things, electrical finishing and all that stuff. So you got to be there, you can't send somebody over there. You have to be there. Other than that, you'll be surprised. Somebody's going to put something that's really, really nice for them. And you get there and it's not what you want. So, and so when I went down there, it's business. It was all business. Like I only went out 4 nights the last week. It was just every day on site, 6 days a week. Yeah. So, yeah. So no, it's not $1 million. No. Now, if you have $1 million you want to buy, we can talk offline and wrap up the deal by tonight. Yeah. So I've been asked, how much would it take? Um, would I take if someone want to buy it? It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be, and it has nothing even to do like sentimental. No, for me, it's more like I think it's a nice house. It's a really nice house. It was designed very well. The flow is nice. Things make sense. The placement. Um, there's privacy because everything, every room, every bedroom is a suite. So it is like it checks a lot of. The only thing like it doesn't have is like a library, but I have one room over there. I can't compare that library or stuff. But other than that, it's like there is roomy, and I think that's a challenge with the houses in Ghana. It looks really nice from exterior. You go in there and it's choppy. Doesn't make sense. There's walls here, that kind of stuff. So that is what is gonna increase the price, not like sentiment. It would be nice, but I'm not like emotionally too attached to it. I'll be happy it's done though, because then I can, consider other things. But um, other than that, it's a nice house, and I always say it's a dream house. Don't get a good architect, and get a good one, because once it's done, you're gonna live in it. So don't. Um, I paid the blueprint, my architect. I paid like $2,000, um, and it was cheap in a sense of what they do here is like they go by the price of that house in the US or the square footage. And I was like, you can't use those numbers. That'll be way too high. But we made a deal. I was like, okay, I'll we do whatever you want. And he also said that it was the first house he was designing for Africa. So he's done every continent except. So, and I promise him when he's done, I'll give him some of the images he can upload on his uh, website. And then I gave him a photo of everything I wanted. So, and that helped. He came back a week later. It may look like the drawings I gave him looks like nothing. I'm like, yeah, yours is better. Let's keep use that. And we did some small edits within like 3 weeks. We got a plan because I gave enough materials to get everything to about 90%, and we just got to tweak and that kind of stuff. Sometimes you are paying for the going back and forth. Um, yeah. So, but but for like for the house, I think you can, depending on where you bid in them, it can be cheaper too. So it's not gonna cost the same, because labor is not the same, and that kind of stuff, different regions and stuff like that. So, but it's just like in Accra or the suburb outside Accra, it's just things are getting expensive, um, everything. So people are just inflating, that kind of stuff. So the square footage, excluding the garage, the two-car garage, the square footage is I think 6,500 square foot. But give and take, I would say a little bit less, because once you factor in like the plastering and that kind of stuff, it's a little bit. But so it's about, but I'll put it like on maybe 6,300 square foot or something like that. Um, oh, somebody need landscaping. Okay, I'll hook you up, girl. And yeah, so but it's about just getting what you want. Just and the blueprint, just put it out, put a dream out there. Because Ghana House, you can do renovation, you can do add-ons, you can add stuff, but you can't be taking walls out. So I'll say dream big, go for it, and just go chase it. Just my attitude was like I was gonna do everything, and I was like, it may take 15 years, I'm gonna do it. And once it's done, I'm gonna be happy with it, and I'm gonna really, really have a good time. And then that's my plan. I plan to enjoy myself really, really well. Um, of course, you guys will be invited sometimes and stuff. So, but so that is the motivation of doing that. Let me see. So some but a bit 3 5 years. That's good. So cost wise, just shoot me an email. We'll take it from there, and then just keep the dream alive, and then just go for it. Because I mean, one of the things too is like I always say, you should be able to live in two continents. Whatever something happens, you should be able. And I think, especially for some of us that have kids, I have two girls, is that it is a responsibility for the parents to create that they are not bound. I don't want my children to ever feel that they are locked anyway. I want them to feel like they are free, and if one area doesn't suit them, they can move and make it in another place. That kind of stuff. So that was like some of the motivation. I want something that was like comfortable. So one can take the main floor, one can take the second floor, and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's the stuff. So quality workmanship. So I would say, I break it down. Roofing, good. Um, Plastering, good. Electrician, phenomenal. Plumbing, good, very good. Tiling, good, yeah, good. Um, Landscaping is working on. Some place look great, is between, and then some place are okay. Um, Now there's certain things like which is hard. I don't know why it is like so, like certain things that I don't know what I'm gonna do long term about that is, so when they do the staircase, right? For some reason they can never get them to be the same like length. It's like the height is always off. Like, and it's like really, really off. Like I'm not even talking about millimeters. I'm saying like inches off. And so that's something I don't want to do. Like I'm gonna enjoy it next year, and then down the road, I'm gonna have to figure something out to just make it all even. So it's kind of like stuff like that that can bug you, but it's okay. Windows, I don't want to use that company. The Windows were like, I think the only thing I'm not happy about is the Windows, the company, because both workmanship and just the attitude, customer service was just terrible. I had a fight with the owner several times. So that, um, I wouldn't use them. And I wouldn't recommend them to anybody. Yeah, I should have used. I have code for some or two other companies. Should have used stuff like that. And also, obviously, you gotta think about security, right? So I would say um, it's cheaper now to do the electrical fencing. I think it's a great deal. I got a guy; he's very good. When I went to Ghana, that was not on. That was not an option. Was not budgeted for. But I met this guy through my electrician, who I trust, and he came and we did the numbers. And for I was going to do a sliding gate, automatic. The budget that I took actually was sufficient to cover the sliding gate and do all the wiring, the electrical wiring on the fence. And I'm like, awesome. So we did it. So I think it's important. I didn't want to use the razor ones because make it looks like San Quentin, you know. And so I didn't want to do that. So I went for the wiring. And so that's one security. And security is just multiple layers. You just don't do one thing. It's just you do 4 to 5 layers. And that can be off. I'm not gonna discuss that publicly, but that's how you do it. So but I'm not worried about it. I'll be fine, Ghana. Gonna go have a good time. Are you an African? Yes. Unapologetically African, right? So African, always been, will be, and I'll probably leave the F that way. So that question is true. Start a building consultant. It's an option. It's an option. But yeah, so it is like top 5 on the list. Um yeah. But I'll do it differently like how everybody's doing it. So but it is an option because I think that the big challenge is because of the dishonesty that is like pretty putting a lot of hold for dreams for a lot of people that are outside. And so and I think it will be a successful one because we will do it the right way. We do it the right way. We do it right. We're not gonna be the cheapest, but we're gonna guarantee stuff. We're gonna have people put money in our account here, legally buying them. That if we don't produce, we can be sued. That's how we're gonna be transparent. And then people pay for that transparency and stuff. We will send them files, secure files that they can access to open their stuff. We can upload stuff for them. Give them a password to a website. So we're gonna do it like stress free. you know so it's going to be different. So the electrical fence now is, I think the big problem that used to happen was people getting electrocuted, especially when it's not wired properly to the electrical gate. So yeah, so that was one of those things. But I think too also it's a deterrent, right? It's a deterrent. Aesthetically, it's nicer than the razor wires. And I mean, in the ideal world, no that, no bulletproof. But you know, you live in reality and you make adjustment and stuff like that. So, but I think, for us that are not locals, we are magnet, right? So, and that's just the reality. And we just have to just plan for that kind of stuff. And so I think is more deterrent than razor. I think so because the razors, they can cut them, but electrical stuff, a lot of them don't have the knowledge how to do that, and also it is connected to alarm system. So if it's disturbed, it's gonna go off. It's gonna, and everybody in the neighborhood is gonna know something's going on. So it's about that. You know, it's about that. It's about that, and so it looks like. So I will wrap it up in about 5 minutes. This is the first video, so I didn't want it to be like too long, but you guys were asking great questions and stuff. So I get a question saying, "Do I plan on building another house anytime soon?" At least, not in the next for like a full house, another house, not in the next 5 years. I may do something to the compound maybe in 3 years time, something like some kind of structure, something like that. But that could change because I'm doing other things and depending on how things go, you know. But if I do build another dream home, then um, it's gonna be it's gonna be like a different house. Probably I want to be by the ocean somewhere. Yeah, but other than that, it's not in the plans right now because I'm yet to even sleep one night in this one. So, and you want a break. Um, yeah, so like if you want security cameras and all that stuff, do the installation and make sure like they use the proper wiring, right? Because you want to get good feed from the camera to the monitor, and you want to make sure like the pictures are clear and all that kind of stuff. So it's a different wiring they use compared to the wire house. So not every electrician can wire that, so you gotta be careful. There are people that actually can. My electrician can wire those things because it does that for other companies and stuff. So not every electrician can go there and know the wires to get and how they're gonna connect all those things. It's a little bit complicated and stuff like that. Um, so those things you do like when you're doing your wiring. Just put it when in that, just put it out. If you're thinking about it, just make provisions. Just put it out there. Even if you never install cameras, that's fine. But just there. I'll get a fake one or something. Fake camera that work. The camera is not gonna stop anything. It's just gonna record. Um, so I appreciate all the support, all the encouragement over the years, and all the positive energy that I get, and I try to respond to your emails. I think I'm doing okay. I try to get it, get a response back within 48 hours. And stuff. I get busy sometimes, but I usually when I see them, I try to respond that. So if you have questions about, codes, prices, working with other people, and sometimes too is just like to get another opinion, right? Just to get another quote to see if the numbers make sense and that kind of stuff. Just shoot me an email, and then keep supporting the channel. I appreciate that. I always wanted to keep it positive over there and stuff. And so I think overall, subscribers have done a great job in keeping it that way because life is short, so you live it well, and you do the best you can. But this is my first video. It's only going to get better as time goes, and I expect it to go about 30 minutes, but we've passed the hour mark. So, I will, wrap it up and thank everybody very much for tuning in. And I'm thinking about posting the landscape. The landscape look really nice. He did a good job. So I have maybe 95% of the video. I'm waiting for the final one to come in. He said Tuesday. Well, I heard that before. So 2 weeks. I would say 2 weeks. Unless it's good for his work. Tuesday, then I'll put something by Friday. So I'll post that, check it out. And if you like what you see and stuff like that, and then we just keep going. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I know it's a short notice because the idea was to get maybe one person in there, but we have a good number. So next time I'll give you more time to plan for that. Anyway, thank you everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support.